Hello, Paul Stevens, Bootstrap Local Marketing. This is another in a series of videos I'm doing for small businesses to help them find out where they are online, what their presence is online, and how to improve that presence online. I want to take a few minutes to talk about keywords. I mentioned them in the first of this series of videos and how important they were. Now, how are you going to find out what keywords you should be searching for? If you're searching for a keyword that almost never gets searched for, maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. We'll talk a little bit about that. But one of the ways you do, of course, is sit down, you think about your product or service, and in non-technical language, as much as possible, you have to think like somebody who's not a professional in your field. What would they be looking for? What terms would they use to search for? The example we're using here is lawyer. Well, law firm, lawyer, lawyers, legal advice, legal services, those are things that people might think of. People may be less likely to think in terms of solicitors or WSIB lawyers. Those are terms that do get searched for, as a matter of fact, but the average person isn't going to search for them. I talked a little bit about the Google Keyword Planning tool. That's a tool that's available to people who sign up for Google AdWords. And I did a search, I exported the search to an Excel spreadsheet. And what this shows you is keywords, and I've arranged it to show you the frequency of searches a month. Obviously, some terms are used more frequently than others. And this goes all the way down to, I didn't capture everything, but I went down to terms that are searched for basically 5% of the frequency that the most common terms are searched for. Nonetheless, estate lawyer, family law office, criminal defense lawyer, DUI lawyer. If you optimize your website or your online properties so that those terms showed up and people were searching for them, then you've increased the chances of you getting found for them. The odds are quite high that other law firms in your town or city are not using these less frequently occurring phrases. So if there's only 3 other law firms, for instance, that are using a DUI lawyer on their website someplace, and you use it, anytime one of these searches occurs in your area, you're going to be one of 3 firms that show up for that term. Well, if you can make a good showing for 15 or 20 of these less frequently searched for terms, you're going to get found quite a bit. They don't search for them that much, but if you've got all of them on your website someplace, you're going to show up when other firms don't. Okay? So that's one of the things you can do. Now, obviously, Google is going to go to a lot of time and effort to find out what people are searching for, and is going to have this list. If you don't want to go to the trouble of signing up for Google AdWords and getting access to that tool, what are you going to do? Well, one of the things you do is you talk to your current clients and you talk to people as they come in. You need to ask them, how did you find us? And they say, oh, a friend referred me. Oh, well, how did that happen? What were you asking the friend to help you with? Well, I was looking for a good a good lawyer to help me with my wills. My mother passed away, and I have to do the will, or I'm writing my own will, or I want to do estate planning, and they recommended you. Well, those are all terms that you can use being significant in terms of somebody looking for you. If they mentioned they found you on the internet, what were you looking for on the internet, right? So very simply, as part of the initial conversation with a new client or prospective client, you can find out what it is they were looking for. Let's go right to Google itself as well. We're using the example of lawyers. We're also using the small city of Peterborough. So if we go in here and we type in lawyers, I have looked for lawyers in Peterborough, and Google remembers that. So they are going to serve that up as a possibility, and also local to where I am right now, my SP provider is close to Peterborough. So people around here that are looking for lawyers frequently look for Peterborough lawyers, or use that as a term when they're searching. Well, correctly identified spelling mistake, good for Google. But then they serve up other possible searches. For instance, family lawyers in Peterborough. family lawyers then is a term that I should use when I'm seeing how I rank. Let's go for LF Lawyers. That happens to be a law firm, as we can see down here. Family Lawyers Peterborough, Ontario. Family Lawyers Peterborough, Ontario, Canada is a term that's being used to search for as well. So that's somebody who's tried searching for lawyers in Peterborough and found out that there's a Peterborough, New Hampshire, and a Peterborough in the UK. Okay, let's try it. Let's flip it around. As a matter of fact, let's get rid of this as well. And say we're searching for Peterborough. Well, it's going to Peterborough Weather, Peterborough Examiner, that's the newspaper, Peterborough, Ontario. If we go Peterborough Lawyers, or lawyer, well, Lawyers Directory, Lawyers Wills. So Peterborough Lawyers Wills. Obviously, lawyers and wills is a term that is being used in people's search. So simply by going through this process, you can see what Google will suggest as search terms that you should maybe consider. You go down to the bottom of the page. Google also provides you with searches related to Peterborough lawyers. That's divorce lawyers, lawyers directory, civil lawyers, tax lawyer, family lawyer, find a lawyer, law firm. Those are all terms that you could use reasonably to find out how you rank online. So I hope this has been a little bit of help as you're trying to come up with keywords that you should be using. Sit down, brainstorm with your staff, try not to get technical. Talk to your current and new clients as they come in to try and identify what they were looking for when they found you, because if you're getting an average run of clients, you talk to 50 of them, the terms that come up if you've talked to 50 of them are going to be the terms that are most frequently being used. Maybe you don't want to go after the most common terms because the competition is high, but you do want to pay attention to some of the less common terms that are being used, because it's likely you can dominate in those niches, and when somebody searches, you can guarantee you'll be one of the 1, 2, or 3 top positions that show up. Okay, hope this helped. Paul Stevens, Bootstrap Local Marketing. Have a good day.